Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about something that has been going around the internet for a little bit now, because I think that it's something that I need to talk about, and that is of course that the MCU is in shambles at the moment, right? But I think that the thing is that I think that people were making it think like that it was in shambles, right? So how, pretty much how, but not in shambles. Like, so for I again, I don't mind where Marvel is at the moment. I don't think it's as good as where it once was, but they want to differentiate themselves from the Infinity Saga and go into more of the grander aspect of, like, we have more interesting stories to tell. What can we do? So since we have the whole thing of like Kang and that sort of stuff, we have the whole thing with Jonathan Majors. That is like, I don't want to get into that at the moment. I've already gone into that a little bit on the podcast, but I honestly think that the movies like Phase 4 and 5 feel like we're in the new Phase 1, where it's like Phase 1 was building to the Avengers, where this is building to an Avengers movie, where it seems like that we're actually going to get paid off in Captain America 4, where we do have a lot of the, like, where we have a small group of Avengers, where Sam Wilson is going to be assembling a team of Avengers. We don't know who's going to be on that team, but we know that there is going to be an Avengers kind of group in the future. We know that we're going to get introduced to the X-Men, which we've been teased with both Miss Marvel and also Multiverse of Madness. So that's getting paid off with Deadpool 3. And I've even hearing some things about how it's getting paid off in the Marvels, which I haven't seen yet. So, again, we're slowly getting paid off, right? So, and whole thing, like, yeah, sure, Thor hasn't appeared in another movie since Love and Thunder. But again, it's one of those things where it's like you have this whole thing was set up in WandaVision of Monica Rambeau going up into space. We're getting then the Marvels, which Miss Marvel, that whole thing of the switch between her and Miss Marvel happened at the end of Miss Marvel. It's getting paid off in the Marvels. So things are getting paid off. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't think that there's anything really that is really awful about the MCU at the moment. Like, recently, like, I just started rewatching Quantumania, and I think there's a certain point in that movie where it's like, it slowly gets boring, but not in a bad way type of thing. But I think that first decent chunk of the movie is really good. I think that a lot of the comedy in that movie works and stuff. Same with Love and Thunder, right? But I think that there's a lot of things in the future that's going to get paid off. So I think because you have the whole thing of the MCU getting rebooted after Secret Wars, and the fact that there are reports coming out that apparently there are ways that Sony and Marvel can make the Sonyverse and the MCU one universe. So then you can actually have your Tom Hardy Venom and your Jared Leto Morbius and Madam Web and that sort of stuff as one big MCU, right? Which I'm excited to see. But I think it's one of those things where it's like, you have which Okay, so one of the things that they mentioned in the article is that they want to bring back the original Avengers for an Avengers movie, because they don't have a plan for an Avengers movie until Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, right? So I think that there is something about um, them doing that. That's like, I actually don't mind them doing that, but it would. The only thing that I have to say about that is that it would have to tie into the multiverse saga. Is that it's like, okay, you can do that, but you need to tie it into the multiverse saga. Whether if it's like Hulk and Thor and Hawkeye, and even like you can easily bring back Cap because he didn't die. So those four are trying to find a way to resurrect Tony Stark and Black Widow. Whether if it's like you do the whole thing from Endgame because they, from what I remember, that they can rebuild the time machine from Endgame, rebuild that, go back to that point where where Tony and Black Widow died, bring them back, or you can go like, let's go into this point, but it's like it's a if it's like Emily Blunt as Black Widow or something, or Tom Cruise as Iron Man, or you have like where Rodan Jr. and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow don't know Hulk, Thor, Cap, and Hawkeye, or at least those versions of them, right? So I don't mind them doing that as long as it ties into the grander story. But I think that it's one of those things where it's like they had a plan. Their plan was Kang. Unfortunately, the whole thing with Jonathan Majors is a thing, right? So you have, that's a bit of a problem. But I think that there is something that they are still trying to do with the MCU, right? So I think that there is still something that they can try and do. I don't think it's the end of the world when it comes to Marvel. I think that there is some stuff that we are going to get big payoffs to. And I think that's going to be really cool to see what happens. Because I think that there's going to be something that is really important at the end of the Marvels that tie into a lot of what's going to happen and how accurate they're going to be. And I think that there's, I think a lot of the MCU shows and movies haven't been as bad as people think. I think that there are like, I remember liking some of the Falcon Winter Soldier, but not a lot of it. I enjoyed She-Hulk. I enjoyed Miss Marvel. I love Hawkeye and I love WandaVision. So I think that the shows are great. I think that the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is great. I think Volume 3 is great. I think No Way Home is great. I think that Quantumania, Love and Thunder, and Multiverse of Madness are underrated. I think that Shang-Chi is okay. So I don't think that there's any Marvel movie that's flat out terrible recently. But I do agree that other No Way Home, and in some aspects, I mean, Love and Thunder's in my top 10, but like, the first three phases are the majority of my MCU list. Like, the good half, right? And even some of the bottom half, but not a lot of it, right? So, I think that there are more good things in the MCU now than bad. But I do see where people say where it's like, I can't get into this or I don't like this. The MCU is in shambles. So, since they want to course correct a tiny bit, that's fine. I'm just looking forward to see what Marvel movies coming out in the future. I just hope that they're good. And also that Secret Wars is still going to be a great movie and that Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman are leading that movie. So guys, please let me know what you guys think about this. I just wanted to make this video because I think that there's something about the MCU in its current state that is kind of something that I need to talk about. So guys, please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Subscribe also to the little bell icon to get notified of future videos that I make. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.